Be careful of who you follow. A girl needed to drive across town even though it was snowing hard. It was snowing so hard that she had a hard time seeing. But she remembered her driving instructor had told her that, to be safe on the road in a snowstorm, if she ever saw a snow plow, to follow it, since snow plows clear the road and drop salt to melt any ice on the road. So she started following it. She followed the snow plow for about half an hour, then the snow plow stopped. The driver of the plow truck got out and asked her what she was doing. She explained that her driving instructor had told her if she ever got stuck in a snowstorm, to follow a plow. The driver nodded and said, "Okay. But I'm done clearing the snow of the Walmart parking lot now. Are you going to follow me to the Target parking lot now?"
Oops!
No matter where you are on social media, people want you to follow them. Sometimes you want to. But you have to be careful of who you follow on social media. You know not to follow people who are mean, people who are bullies, people who drive by in a windowless van offering you free candy.
No.
People who get into trouble all the time.
No.
But sometimes it is difficult to know who you should not follow online. You can't see them. You don't really know them. Are they good? Or are they bad? You do not always know. Following helps you stay up with people you want to, but everyone online seems like they want you to follow them. It is almost like they are trying to hypnotize you into following them. Follow us. Follow us. Follow. This fun, Better with Bacon video is from the Surprise series. It is about the time the Egyptian army followed the Israelites to the Red Sea. Make sure you check out the other great Better with Bacon videos about surprises on YouTube. The Egyptians had enslaved the Israelites. They made them do all the hard work in Egypt. The Egyptians barely gave the Israelite slaves enough to eat. When any of the Israelites slowed down from working, the Egyptians beat them, or even killed them. God had told Moses that he was going to free the people of Israel. The Lord told Moses to take his older brother, Aaron, and go before Pharaoh to tell him to let the people of Israel free. The Pharaoh said no, so God sent 9 horrible plagues, one at a time, upon the Egyptians. After each plague, Moses would go again to Pharaoh to tell him to let the people of Israel go free. Each time the Pharaoh would say, no. That was until the 10th terrible plague. Then, God sent the angel of death to kill all the firstborn children in Egypt. The angel of death passed over the homes of the Israelite slaves. The Lord had instructed the people of Israel to mark their doorposts with the blood of the Passover lamb, so the angel of death would know to pass over their house. Then, and only then, did the Pharaoh finally relented and let the people of Israel go. The Israelites were now able to flee Egypt. The Israelites had been slaves for over 400 years. But because of the 10 horrible plagues God had sent upon the people in Egypt, the Israelites were finally free. They were slaves no more. The people of Israel quickly got all of their stuff and fled Egypt. It didn't take too long to pack their stuff because they had been poor slaves, so they didn't have too much stuff. When they were leaving, many of the saddened Egyptians gave them money and food. Because they were so relieved they were leaving, they wanted them gone. The Israelites were freed. They celebrated and thanked God for freeing them. But the Israelites weren't as free as they thought they were. Or at least not yet. Soon after the people of God left Egypt, Pharaoh realized what he had done. Pharaoh, the ruler of all Egypt, had just let all his unpaid, hard-working slaves walk out, who was going to do all the work. None of the Egyptians wanted to do it. Pharaoh certainly didn't want it to. The Pharaoh regretted freeing the Israelites. Maybe God was helping them after all, he thought. Maybe the plagues would have happened anyways. Or maybe God had forgotten about the Israelites now that they were gone. So Pharaoh gathered his mighty Egyptian army, with all of its chariots, soldiers, archers. Also, he was determined to catch up to them before they got too far away. He would force them back to Egypt to serve again as slaves. What could the people of Israel do? They were not soldiers. They didn't even know how to fight. They had no weapons. Thought the Pharaoh. He left after them. It didn't take Pharaoh and his army long to catch up to the thousands of Israelites. They were by the Red Sea. So he had them trapped. There was nowhere for the people of Israel to go. On one side of them was the huge, deep Red Sea. It wasn't like the Israelites could start swimming to escape the approaching Egyptian army. Pharaoh had so many soldiers and archers that they created a large dust cloud after them. When the Israelites saw the huge dust cloud in the sky, they knew Pharaoh was coming to capture them. Maybe he was coming to kill them. The Israelites cried to Moses, "Why did you bring us out here to the desert to die? We could have stayed in Egypt. At least we had food and water there." The Israelites wanted to surrender to the Pharaoh. "No," said Moses. "Do not be afraid. Believe in the Lord who saved you from slavery in Egypt, and you will see the deliverance God will give you this day. You will never see the Egyptians again. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to believe in God. Watch and see." The Lord then instructed Moses to stretch his hands over the Red Sea. When Moses did this, a mighty wind came and blew an opening through the Red Sea for the Israelites. That is right. Now there was a dry path right through the middle of the sea for all of the Israelites to walk through. The walls of the sea were on both sides of them as they safely walked through. What a sight it must have been. What had seemed impossible to the Israelites was now happening. It was now possible because of God. They were escaping the Egyptians one final time. They were free and safe, all because of the Lord. The people of Israel walked right through the middle of the sea on dry ground, with walls of water on each side. When the Egyptians arrived at the Red Sea, all of the Israelites had made it through safely to the other side. You would think that Pharaoh would see that God had not forgotten his people, that the Lord was helping them miraculously escape. But, surprise, Pharaoh ordered his army to pursue the Israelites, right through the dry opening in the Red Sea caused by a mighty wind that God had sent. He and his army started through the opening after the people of Israel. They were following them through the Red Sea, once all the Israelites were safely through the sea and to the other side. God instructed Moses to stretch out his arms again over the Red Sea. When he did this, God stopped the mighty wind. The walls of water crashed down. The entire army of the Pharaoh drowned. So did the Pharaoh. Not a single Egyptian chasing after the Israelites survived. The people of God saw all of this happen safely from the other side of the Red Sea, and just as Moses promised them, they will not see the Egyptians again. They thanked God for delivering them. They sang and danced. Moses' sister, Miriam, started to play music and sing to God. The people of Israel were finally free, just as God promised they would be. Better be careful of who you follow. This Better with Bacon video is from the Surprise series. It is the story from the Bible about the Israelites escaping Egypt and through the Red Sea, from the book of Exodus in the Old Testament. Make sure you check out the other YouTube videos about surprises in this series. Did you like this video? Then click like. See you next video. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Follow.